Welcome to the Living Centred podcast, a podcast all about learning together how to live lives which are centred on Jesus. Everyone lives centred on something. Our goal is to learn together how every area of our lives, everything about who we are and how we live, can be increasingly oriented around Jesus and transformed by Jesus. He invites us to a rich and satisfying life, where the good news that he truly is enough changes everything about how we relate to God, ourselves, and the world. In each episode, a different person shares about what it's looking like for them to seek to centre their life on Jesus right now. As we hear their stories, we get to learn together and to encourage one another in what it means for Jesus to be at the centre of our lives. This is a journey we are all invited to, and a conversation we all get to be a part of. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, my name's Adrian, and it is so good to welcome you to this week's episode of the Living Centred podcast. And it's my privilege today to introduce Sarah, who's going to be sharing.
Hi.
Sarah,
Hi, Adrian.
it is good to see you.
Thank you.
To ease you in then, as I do with everyone every week, I wonder if I could get you to start by sharing a bit about yourself, who you are, and what your life looks like at this point in time.
Okay, my name's Sarah, as Adrian's just introduced me. I've been part of Oasis Church for a long time now. In fact, since early 99, I think 2 months after the first meeting.
Amazing.
And in fact, probably before the church was named Oasis, I
think
believe.
you were there then. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I am single. I live across to the east side of Birmingham and I live on my own. I'm part of a big immediate family. So I've got 3 brothers, all married with children. So I'm an aunt to 9 nieces and nephews, which
Amazing.
is fantastic. Aged between 17 and 26. And it's great. I love it. I've also got elderly parents in their 90s who live a couple of hours away. So increasingly there's the challenge of looking after them from a distance and managing that.
Yeah.
Got great parents, good Christian parents that I'm very blessed to have had.
Yeah.
And I'm more and more grateful as I get older for that, actually.
Yes, it is
just
something,
as a
isn't
heritage.
it? Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. I'm a nurse working in a medical centre, which has been my most favourite nursing job since I qualified.
Really?
Yeah, so I've done something like this for 30 years now, but I've had 4 or 5 different jobs. I don't work a million miles from here. And interestingly, I work a mile up the road from where I went to a junior school in Bourneville.
No way.
So that is interesting. Yeah. I work 4 out of 5 days. I've just dropped today last year because I'm of a certain age, which I won't give away.
Age is a concept. Yeah. I also think it's really important to understand that, like, at different phases, there's just a need to kind of work out what's the rhythm that's going to work at this phase.
Yeah.
And I think that's brilliant. Say, at this point, I think it's this.
Yes, and that's been really good for me, actually. Do very full on for other days.
I bet.
A lot of demand on timekeeping, emotional demand, because I'm seeing patients one-to-one. You know, a lot of listening and trying to manage everything at work. So, yeah.
Wow. Sarah, man, that is an amazing window in. And firstly, it is an utter privilege to have just done the long walk with you. I think often there's people you realise that you've just had the privilege of over years, decades, of just walking together, sometimes closely, sometimes a bit more distant, following Jesus. And it has been an utter privilege to do that with you.
Thank you. And for me,
It really is. And I think that window into the richness of your life is just really helpful. It's just incredibly varied. Lots of different moments of responsibility in there. And also, as I said, just that beauty of you knowing yourself and saying, actually, I think for me to be the best version of myself at this point in time, it means that I need to alter what I'm working. I think that's just really, really helpful. I guess before I go off on a tangent on those things, which I could do, I want to jump in with the big question I ask everyone every week, which is then, within the richness of your life, what does living centered on Jesus look like for you right now?
Okay, I'd probably start off by saying I haven't been great at being centered for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And there might be varying reasons for that. And I think sometimes it's not just one thing, is it? It's just a sort of little series of things that affect you. It can just be stress. It can be just focusing on other things.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's keeping going in the long run, isn't it?
It really is.
I feel like as you get older, you just have to be a bit more intentional about it because there's more
It's
things
really
to distract you. But I would say I've been a bit coasting for a while. So don't want to make it sound all great about what I'm going to say. So I think there's several areas. And I mean, actually, interestingly, I've just been in one of those areas because I've just driven over here from where I live, which is taking 45 minutes in heavy traffic. What I think is one area that you need to crack is how you behave when you're driving the car on your own.
I love that.
Because nobody's watching you apart from God.
Yeah.
And you can sort of imagine that nobody's really driving those other cars, or you can see very well they're driving those other cars. And I don't know, you just need to respond rightly. And it's very easy to respond wrongly and think it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Isn't it? So it's a real testing place, I think, driving around Birmingham.
That's really good.
And it also is a kind of like little mirror on how you're doing with God, I think, some of the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one area where it's kind of gives me my gauge of how I'm doing some of the time with
really
God.
Helpful. Yeah,
and it's easy to get into quite bad habits.
No, sure.
I'm sure I'm not the only one.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Yeah. I mean, the other place as well is being centered at work, because if you don't focus on God and draw your strength from him at work, then inevitably at some point during the day you'll lose it, or you'll feel like you're losing it. I don't mean like losing my temper, but just sort of losing my pace, losing my peace, actually.
Yeah.
And not maybe managing a stressful situation well.
It's really good.
I can do my job,
Yeah.
but to do it well, that's a different matter, and I need the Holy Spirit to do it well. So
it's really good.
Yeah. And also I think, I'll probably come on to this later, but when you're just kind of skating along without much drawing of strength from God, you're not really in the overflow to really, I don't know, witness at work and things like that.
That's
it's easier
really
just
helpful.
to sort of button down and manage, and not want to step out of that almost. Yeah.
It's really helpful, Sarah. I love it. Of just you saying, what does it look like? Well, the starting point of honesty, of maybe not as centered as I want to be over the last couple of years, but just recognizing then out of that, of just actually, as you've got older, as all of us get older, there's actually a need to be really intentional on this, of ensuring that you're not just coasting.
Yeah.
And what I love about that is then you saying, what are some of the ways that I can watch how I'm doing that? Driving. I love that. Of that can indicate something of a reliance on God in my work.
Yeah.
And then that recognition that actually, God, if I'm not drawing you in, actually, I'm not going to be sharing you. It's not going to come out. I love it. I'm in already. This is a good start. So I guess then, if that's the reality at this moment, what is helping you?
I think you sometimes just have to make some decisions rather than just think it's just going to happen.
Yeah.
And I know we talk about discipline and everything, but it is discipline actually that you need to say, I'll do this at this time on this day, or it helps me if I do, therefore I want to try and do it. So therefore, first thing in the morning, it's better for me to focus on God and put my phone in another room or out of reach or on flight mode or something.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I'll come downstairs, make a cup of tea and then just start scrolling my phone, particularly if I'm tired in the morning.
Yeah.
So I need to leave that phone out of the way.
It's really
My only
good.
exception to that
Go on.
is on maybe a weekend where I might download music and then put it on flight mode and then listen to worship music when I've got a bit more time. But I can't normally do that on a weekday. So
That's really good, Sarah. I love it. What I love is you saying, actually, there's a need to be intentional because there's a danger of just coasting.
Yeah.
And that then for you, that intentionality is it's just a daily decision and discipline. But in it that you realize, all right, and there's this device that can be good sometimes. If I let it, I can use it for music and worship. But actually it has in it the potential of taking stuff away from me. And so I need to put my
Definitely.
phone in another room, put it on flight mode. It's such a practical thing to do. What I think is, I'm sure like loads of people are like, oh man, yeah, I could just do that. I could just put it on flight mode and that'd really help. Or I could just leave it in another room and that would help. I also love, in terms of the intentionality, just something I've been thinking about in the lots over the last year, is when you're going on a long walk, it's all about just taking the next step. And I think increasingly it is just like that, following Jesus, to be intentional so that you don't end up just coasting. It's just that daily decision of, yeah, let's just take the next step.
That's right, yeah. And I know things like prayer lists can feel a bit like, ugh, you know, but I somehow think you need them to a point. Otherwise you don't intentionally pray for particular things either.
What do you do on your prayer list?
I sort of split it down into sort of different things on different days. So I might have a day when I'm praying for family, a day when I'm praying for church, a day when I might be praying about world situations. But I just want to say, just want to qualify this, that I don't always do it.
That's okay.
But that's the plan.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah,
but it's really helpful, because I think sometimes it can feel like, oh, I'm going to pray. Oh no, what do I pray for now?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And that's just such a practical way of saying, oh yeah, I'm going to seek to pray for these sort of things this week. Oh, this day I'm going to go for those things. This other day, these things. Really helpful.
And I think a bit of praying in tongues helps. And I could do that more than I do. But I know it helps to focus me, and especially if I don't know what I'm going to pray.
Yeah.
Maybe this, again, is something I might have done at one point, but I'm not doing at the moment, is to just take maybe an hour a week where you just soak in worship music. Now, if I fast during that time, that's an extra that helps. But I have not done that for a while. But I know that's really beneficial to do on a regular basis, even if I just manage it every couple of weeks.
And with that soaking, that's a kind of like just putting the worship music on, and just sitting worshipping it, joining in with the songs.
Yeah, sometimes and sometimes not. Yeah.
Amazing.
So those are all the good ideas.
Well, what I know is that the things that you're saying are good ideas are things that you do.
Sometimes.
There you go. But aren't we all like that? It's like, do I consistently do this every day? No. But is my heart towards these things? Yes. Do I do them? Yes.
Sometimes it's helpful, isn't it, to look at how you use your time, because you know that is going to reflect what's important to you at that time. So if I've watched a bit of rubbish telly or something, I kind of think, well, it's good. TV's good in its place, isn't it? But sometimes you just sort of think, no, I could have done something more beneficial then, you know.
It's really helpful, Sarah. I guess then, to move us on then, like, what are you discovering then at this point in time in who God is as Father, Son and Spirit?
I'm discovering that God's very kind, very patient and very ready to help me, you know.
Wow. Give me that again.
When
very
I ask.
kind, very patient.
And very ready to help when I ask.
Oh, amazing.
So I think some of it's the asking. And I think, to be really honest, I kind of think when you're asking God for something, you know that a responsibility is going to come with that. So this isn't meant to be heavy, but if I'm asking for the faith to step out more, that's going to require some action on my part, which can be costly. So I want to be close to God, but do I want what that means in obedience? If you're walking closely with the Holy Spirit, you know, God might nudge you to step out. And perhaps I've thought sometimes, I don't want to step out. I'd rather just keep safe, and I'd rather be in control. So you know, when you're asking for more centeredness on Jesus, that some of these things will come out of that. And am I ready for that? You know?
That's really good. I'm loving it. Then to land us then, a last question. Like, how are you changing?
How am I changing?
If I was to
ask friends of mine.
Well, to help you, if we to have met you 3, 6, 12 months ago, how would Sarah then look different to Sarah now?
That's really hard to answer that, actually, if I'm honest. I have had a challenging situation at home because I've had difficulties with one lot of neighbours. And so it's been very close to home, the challenge. And so that's required quite a kind of daily choice to not be furious and hate them, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
And pray for them. I think, you know, even in choosing those actions, there's a change, you know, and you don't know when you're going to have to do that again somewhere else. And it's close to home, so it's challenging.
Yeah,
but,
it really is.
Yeah, it doesn't mean I'm not going to move at some point. But
No, sure.
Yeah. Just choosing a right attitude, I think. And that comes into play at work as well a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Because you do get tricky people. I'm sure I'm a tricky person sometimes to deal with. So.
Aren't we all?
Yeah. I'd like to walk in more joy and contentment than I do. That would be a goal. But again, that's a side result, isn't it? From spending time.
I really like that. I love how you've done it. You've done something that no one else has done before, I don't think, where you've both said something of how you're changing, but also how you want to change. I really love that. It's really good. It's really good. Oh, Sarah, man, it has done my heart so much good doing this conversation.
Thank you.
Always does, every time. I'm like, yeah, you've shared of yourself. You've shared of the reality. I think out of the beauty and wonder of all that you've shared, there's lots of different things that I want to take from what you've shared, but I think there's two encouragements. Actually, they're both things that God has been really speaking to me recently about. As I said, one is just the discipline of it's just a step at a time to keep walking with Jesus.
Yeah.
And just that observation of, you know, as you get older, you've got to just be more intentional. I think I want to keep doing that. I think that the other thing is your prayer lists, where you're just like, yeah, this is just the thing I do. And I think I pray lots, but I'm realizing is I really want to be focused in my prayers. And so I've started to add some lists to prayers. And I felt like, yeah, I want to keep building on that, which is really good. So yeah, those are the things I'm going to do. How about you, my listening friends? What are you going to do out of the wonder and beauty of all that Sarah has so eloquently shared with us? And lastly, I just want to thank you for listening. And I want to pray for each and every one of us. I pray we would know more of the wonder of living centered on Jesus this coming week. Amen.
Thanks for joining us on this week's episode of the Living Centered podcast. New episodes are released every Monday, and if you enjoyed this episode, please do like and subscribe on your chosen podcast provider to receive them direct each week. Living Centered is produced by the team at Oasis Church in Birmingham, UK, and you can find out more and get in touch with the team via theoasischurch.com.